Hello, Arjun. Yes, we are okay. We
Okay,
are
very
fine.
good.
Today we will discuss about Mercury.
Hmm.
And what I remember is that we started our series on retrograde Mercury.
Hmm.
So I was about to ask, what is your opinion about retrogression of Mercury, especially because it is the most often going retrograde, right?
Yes, yes, yes. And you
And
know,
people
when.
are, scared even.
Mhm.
But we started something. But I also heard that for spiritual things it's okay.
I would say don't be afraid of retrograde planets. Don't be afraid of retrograde planets. So, what is retrogression? It is, I have already discussed, it is apparent backward movement
It's
with
apparent.
respect to the center of Earth. When you are looking from the center of Earth, some planets sometimes appear to be moving backwards. And so, this is the particular astronomical phenomena. And it is said that the quality or the result giving tendencies of these planets can change a little bit when they are retrograde. And Mercury, when it gets retrograde, it stays retrograde for about 25 days. Okay, at a stretch for about 25 days. Now, at this time, normally what I see that if you are starting any really material commercial project or you're signing any document, you're
Okay.
signing any document which is specially connected to some commercial activity, then it is better not to do it at that time. You should not register your company at that time when Mercury is retrograde. But I did
How
not
about making a
YouTube channel.
YouTube channel?
Firstly, I think it is, I don't look at YouTube channel as a commercial activity.
Okay.
Yes, I look at more like an activity, at least how we are doing
Like
it.
Seva.
It's just
Like.
like seva, and it is like trying to spread good knowledge, good energy. So I would more connected with Jupiter. So that is why I was not so much worried about this. But actually, if you find Mercury retrograde in your horoscope or anyone's horoscope,
Okay.
now some people have a wrong idea. That see, I'm telling about. I'm not really saying bad things about anybody. But you see, I'm working with these for 25 years, and I'm working in 16 countries. So I have a lot of practical experience.
Yeah.
So
You
I want to
observe
share
many
that. I want
people.
to share
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So you see, like when Mercury is retrograde, some people think maybe the communication will be affected.
Okay.
Maybe the speech will be affected. Maybe the writing will be affected. It does not affect those things.
Maybe it
Absolutely
affects
not.
me. I was sharing before that I'm very slow in speaking these days.
That may be temporarily. That
Maybe
may be.
because of the retrograde
Maybe
Mercury.
temporarily.
Yeah,
But
see that.
what happens is if in the birth horoscope
Okay.
Mercury is retrograde, the person normally doesn't like things too easily. They are very specific. Why it is here? In the hotel room, the toilet is not so good. Like I don't want
Critical.
this is not right. Yeah, they are critical. I won't use the word perfectionist, but they are critical and they are very like specific about some small things,
Okay.
and that is why sometimes they can get a bit irritated also.
This Virgo quality of being too much
Yes,
fussy.
yes, it can be. Definitely, it can
All
be.
right.
It can be like that. So don't be so afraid of retrograde Mercury. But what is Mercury actually? Mercury is basically the most important planet, along with Moon, for students.
Okay.
Irrespective of the age, sometimes we get into some professional courses even at the age of 30 or 40. There is no age for learning
For
new things.
learning.
Or even if when I am learning astrology, somebody is maybe learning something about management or anything like that. So Mercury is connected with understanding something, the lessons quickly, memorizing those lessons or keeping them in your head, and even reproducing them in the examination hall. So Mercury is extremely important. So now it's a different thing that some people may have good memory, but they are weak in reproducing it. So that those things are very fine things. I can only come to those later. But I must say that Mercury is very important for any kind of academic or intellectual activity. It's very important for remembering facts and figures. Some people will say, there is memory of moon and memory of Mercury.
Okay.
Yes. So memory of moon is, maybe 10 years ago, two friends went to a marriage function. Indian marriage functions are quite big normally.
The most important event in
Yeah,
your life.
normally. But in my marriage, only 25 people were invited. I am a strange person. Anyway, because
Out
I'm
of the culture.
out of the culture. So people call me not unsocial, they call me you are antisocial. This is Mercury, sense of humor. This is Mercury again, sense of
That's
humor.
wonderful.
Yes, I am Virgo and Gemini combination. I am very much
Alright.
Mercury.
Oh,
So
nice.
I have some sense of humor. It works for
Very
me.
nice.
And I use it when I'm lecturing, when I'm teaching, I'm using it.
I know that.
Yes. So then what happens is that Mercury is very important for publication related activities. Mercury is very important for lecturing. Mercury is very important for anything connected to advertising or communication. In advertising, you have a mixture of Mercury and Venus. But let me come back to the memory of Moon and the memory of Mercury.
Yes, sure.
So 10 years ago, two friends have been to a marriage party. So one friend will say, wow, it was such a nice occasion. The bride and the groom were so nicely dressed.
We ate nice food.
All the emotion. We had nice food. It was very joyful. And then the Mercurian memory person will say, how many items were there in the menu? Which date it was? Do you
How
remember?
many people were there?
How many people were there? At what time we entered?
How
At what
much
time we
money
left?
did the wife has?
How much money the wife has, or how much money you gifted in the envelope. Do you remember? Oh, I don't remember those things.
I
So this
felt
is the
nice.
difference,
Yeah.
yes, between Moon and Mercury. So this we have to understand. And there is a difference between Mercury and Jupiter. See, Mercury is actually the balancing planet. So Mercury is a balance of theory and practical knowledge, or let's say theory and practical application. Mercury is trying to balance everything. That is why Ayurveda is very much connected to Mercury, because it balances the different doshas.
Okay.
It is very much connected to Mercury.
How about the gunas then?
Just about the gunas, also once again Mercury indicates all the three gunas. It's a balance, as I told you.
Isn't it more Rajas planet?
Yes, it is more Rajas, a
Yes.
little more Rajas, but not so much because Mercury is a Vaishya planet. Vaishya means the trading. Customer is always right. Oh, yes, you are my sweet customer. Oh, your products are not good. Don't worry, I will change them. Don't worry, please sit, have some tea.
Balance.
Yes, so too much Rajasic will be ego. No. So this Mercury Rajasic tendencies are more inside, not so much expressed.
How about enjoyment? Like also recreation? About
Yeah,
Mercury?
recreation is there. Mercury likes sports a lot.
Yeah.
They like, so in the field of sports, there is a difference between Mars and Mercury. Mars indicates the more physical sports where power, body contact, pushing, all these things are involved. It may be the combat sports, it may be even football, basketball, where you are having a lot of body
You
contact.
need strength.
You need some strength. But Mercury is more connected to athleticism, a little bit flexibility. The most flexible planet is Venus. But Mercury is also a balance between some strength, some flexibility, some techniques, quickness of thinking, reflex, all these things.
Yeah.
So it's like, sports
More
like
intelligent.
tennis, it can be
Games.
it can be games, and also definitely it can be chess.
Yeah.
It can be a lot of the intellectual
Logic and-
activity. But if you have a good Mercury, really good Mercury, having some good aspect with Mars, what is good aspect you will know later. Sometimes in Western astrology, if there is a good aspect between Mercury and Uranus, they can count very fast. This works for me.
And intuitive, I think.
Intuitive also,
also.
yes, and also counting very fast, thinking very fast,
You can
and
count
looking very fast.
three numbers.
Yeah. It's easy. It's easy. So and they can talk very fast also.
Okay.
Like some time ago, I went to Kiev because I travel 6.5 months a year, and very soon I'll be out again. So it was in Ukraine. I went to Ukraine for the first time, and there I met a very nice translator. I can tell her name Natalia because there are many Natalias, but she will understand. And she said, I have good aspect between Mercury, Mars, and Uranus. You can talk a lot. I will just remember them. After 3 sentences, I will translate them easily.
Oh, great.
And it was really right. She was not a professional translator, but I was amazed. Wow, she has amazing abilities to remember all what I am saying for 4 or 5
That's
sentences.
difficult.
And then, okay, and she will translate everything nicely. No
Oh,
problem.
great.
in spite of being an amateur translator. She was amazing. So, Mercury, like, I decided to talk on some unusual sides of planets. It's
course.
interesting.
Because this is from your practice.
And Mercury is very important for IT. It indicates all storage. It's memory, basically, hardwares. Like, I mean, not hardwares, I mean a hard disk.
Memory,
Wherever you save the memory. In the office, it indicates the record department where the old files are kept for the last 10 years. Information. Like if you go to find out when I was born 30 years ago, I lost the record, which archive, so that is Mercury.
Yeah.
And the people who are working with those things. And Mercury also gives you the ability to copy very well. In a good sense, not like copying in an exam hall. I mean to learn from something, to see something, and to imitate that. It is also a good quality of Mercury.
Okay, because it's like an empty blank sheet of paper, and you can write on it because of its flexibility.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. I have a wonderful friend and a wonderful knowledgeable astrologer. I won't name him. Anyway, he's teaching Krishnamurti's system in our institute in Calcutta. So he is, I think, even more knowledgeable than me. But he is not good at expressing it because his Mercury is with Ketu, which is the closing down planet, in Pisces, which is a watery sign. And watery signs are against talking.
I have the same example.
You have the same example, right?
We know both in Bulgaria one very knowledgeable in Jyotish and generally in astrology, who also has
this problem with expression.
She knows so much and she can't share this knowledge so well.
So Mercury is very, very important planet. It's a small planet, but it's very big actually.
How about management with life situations?
Yeah, it helps you to balance everything, your personal life, your professional life. It helps you to balance earning and expenses, everything.
Which is very important in the life.
But it can also give you a small child in your nature. You may like to spend more time with children, like to have fun with children, and they are very good at working in projects with children. This is also a nice, sweet side of Mercury.
Very nice.
Okay, so there is no end to talking.
Yeah, I see.
But if you like our discussions, because we will talk about slightly less talked about sides of planets, houses, etc. It will give you some additional knowledge.
Please subscribe and hit the bell button, so that you get the notifications of the new videos.
I hope you will do it. Thank you so much. We'll come back.